Okay. Check the channel. Okay, here we go. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Dr. Mark. Go ahead.
All right.
It's on you today.
All right. Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. That we honor to our apostle, with the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Shalom to the elect. Brothers of Great Millstone, New York, back again on another Friday, on the will of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. We're going to get straight to it and let the scriptures speak. Somebody,
I got the book of Malachi, book chapter. So at the top, this is the book of Malachi, all right, 4 verses 1. And it reads, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven."
Now that day is talking about World War III. You know, thermonuclear destruction that's going to destroy America and other parts of the earth. Now, real quick, brother's going to get Isaiah 13 and 19.
Got it. All right. This is Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans, excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Now, this is not talking about ancient Babylon. This is talking about Babylon the Great, also known as America. It says it shall be overthrown as Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And how was Sodom and Gomorrah overthrew? By fire and brimstone. So maybe
Genesis 19:24. This is the book of Genesis, okay? 19th chapter, starting at 24 verse, right?
20.
Yeah, this is Genesis 19 to 24. And it reads, "Then Yahweh rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah brimstone and fire from Yahweh out of heaven."
So how about Shema Shah destroyed ancient Sodom and Gomorrah by fire and brimstone? In modern day, Sodom and Gomorrah, which is America, Babylon the Great, is going to be destroyed the same way. Except, you know, the Lord is going to have these other nations like Russia, right, China, Iran, along with America allies, send 200 million warheads to Babylon the Great. Somebody get that revelation.
And I can finish it off, verse 25. "And he overthrew those cities and all the plains and all the inhabitants of the city, and that was fruit upon the ground."
Yeah, so everything was destroyed in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know, there's nothing left. Why? Because they were wicked. You know, you had people into homosexuality, all types of wickedness. So Yahweh Shema Shah had to destroy it. And he's going to do that to America as well, because this place is very wicked. You know, this place is polluted.
This is verse 20. All right. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Yeah, so after the destruction of Babylon the Great, you know, it's not going to be a place for a man to dwell at. You know, you're not going to have people coming here to, you know, buy houses and things like that. Why? Because it's going to be destroyed. Right?
All right. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there.
Mm-hmm.
Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there.
Yeah, and that's what these heathens do. You know, you have the Arabs, traditionalites. They come to America to make their shepherds and make money, to set up shop. Right?
Well, wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there.
Yeah, so after the destruction of Babylon the Great, it's going to be a place where desert-like creatures dwell at. You're going to have, you know, Komodo dragons, you're going to have the eagles, your vultures, you know, your fox, scorpions, they're gonna be dwelling at the destruction of Babylon the Great. No, it's not gonna be a place where human beings can dwell at. And
It'd be good. Because if I can add, remember, the Lord promised vows in the air peace. He promised them peace. You wanted Revelation 9:16. This is, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
now what John, the apostle John saw was missiles. It was 200 million warheads aiming at Babylon the Great. 200,000 is equivalent to 200 million. Right?
Yeah. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of, verse 17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire.
That's going to the body of the missile, you know, the army. Right?
And of Jason, and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire.
Now we know that a lion's power is in his head. It says, read that part again.
And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions.
So that's going to the forehead, right?
And out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone.
So that's what's going to destroy Babylon the Great, you know, because when the missiles be shot out the silos, they're going to break apart in the sky. And what you're going to have left is the head, the lion head, which is the cone, the warhead. And that's going to be where the fire destroys Babylon the Great. The fire is going to be coming out the forehead.
Right. So just like a lion bite, or a lion's might is in his bite, the bite is in a nuclear warhead, and that's the designation comes from, because when the missiles get launched, it enters from out the earth atmosphere and it enters back into its target and it designates. Got it.
Got it. Verse 18, and by these three was the third part of men killed.
Now you have three classifications of men. You have the sons of the Most High, which are the Israelites, so-called Hebrews, Latinos, and Native Americans, and Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. Then you have the sons of men, which are these other heathens. And then you have the sons of the wicked, which is the third part of men, which is Esau, heathen, so like. Right?
And by the fire, and by the smoke, and by the brimstone, which issued out of their mouths.
Yep, talking about the warhead, you know. Yep.
Verse 19, for their power is in their mouth.
The power is in their mouth, just like the lion's power is in his mouth, right? He don't use his hand to hurt, he uses his teeth, his mouth, to bite you, right? So the power is going to be coming from the warheads, right?
For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails.
Now you're going to have flame coming, that's the flame, the back of the missile, with the fuel, the oxygen, and the air, you know, the heat, you know, that's what makes the missile propels to the target.
For their power is in their mouth, and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents.
Yeah, so John, he described the missiles in the air as like snakes.
How they maneuver in the air.
Yeah,
And had heads, and with them they do hurt.
yeah, why they do hurt? Because it's going to leave Babylon the Great desolate, right? Ain't nothing going to be left. Right?
This is Zechariah 14:12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Now it's going, that plague is talking about the missile, nuclear destruction, right? And it's coming to all those that fought against the nation of Israel, right?
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
So basically, people going to be cremated, standing up, looking while the fire just go right past them. They're going to be destroyed, right?
And it
And
says,
like the movie Terminator 2, so the forgot her name. She was standing at the gate. Yeah, Sarah Connor. She was just standing there. And she watched the fire come towards her. She was standing on her feet. You know, as soon as the fire went past her, she was skeleton. You know, her eyes were cremated. Everything was cremated.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Their physical eyes,
Yeah.
and then also their visions for the future. All right, it's gonna be dark.
Yeah, to read that part again, because like you saying, okay, read it again.
I'm gonna start at the top. Take it all the way to the top.
This will be a play.
All right. Hold on. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right.
All right. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet.
Right. It says they flesh. It says their flesh is gonna consume away. You know, so your flesh is comprised from the crown of your head all the way down to your feet. But then it mentioned and their eyes and their tongue. But isn't that both comprised of the flesh? Why did the scripture say that? Because like you was just breaking it down, that the eyes is symbolic for the visions for the future, and their tongue, they won't be able to speak the future. You know, so that's why the Most High said it, because it's all spiritual. You know, it's all symbolic, or it's speaking allegorical.
And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you gonna get my shirt? Okay. Second Peter 3, verse 10. All right, and it reads, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night."
Yeah, the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. It's going to be a great surprise to figure out not only what, you know. The day of the Lord is going to come when people don't expect it, you know.
John, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away,
And the heavens is talking about this earth, Jewish shit.
with a great noise."
And go back. So the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. Now we got to break down what it means by thief.
Can I get that?
And what it means by night. So read it back when we.
God. This is Second Peter 3, verse 10. "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which
So what it means by thief.
Con, thief, because you know a thief coming within an unexpected time, which is going into those that's not paying attention to the signs. You know what I mean? Because when you go to, I believe it's the book of Thessalonians,
The 5th chapter.
there you go, my man. Con, when you go to the book of Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, it speaks about those that's in the know. It says, "Brother, I write not this unto you." You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's going into what the signs that we know because we're paying attention to the signs. Con.
Now why I say night?
Because night is normally in the time where people are sleeping.
Going into the end of this.
It's going into a time.
Oh yeah, it's going to the end of Jewish shit.
Break it down. You on the right path, but break it down, make it more clear. Like
Yeah,
like the night, like the scripture speaks about the scripture speaks about the noon, right? Which the noon, what happens in the noon? That's when the sun reaches peak, right? Like usually, like especially in the summertime, at 12 at noon, that's usually when you don't want to be outside. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, you was a kid, but you went after. Well, me, I went after 12 o'clock. That's when it was hotter. Then after 12, the sun starts slowly. You know, the temperature slowly start going down because the sun is slowly going down. And even I do construction, so it'd be good through the whole morning. 10 o'clock is like reasonable. It's like a little bit hot. Then 11 o'clock it'd be like, 12 o'clock come. That's the time you go on break. But you come back off break, it's hot as a mother effer, and you were like, damn. But then it slowly start going down, after 12. So in other words, the sun reaches peak at 12. So that's the noon. And that's representing Esau in the peak of his power. And now let's speak about the night. mean, the end of Esau's, because this is Esau's day. You know, he had his day, and inside his day, he has time, he was at his peak. Now he has time when he entering the night. Matter of fact, somebody get Lamentations 2:21, because Esau, he's at the end. So that's the time when Esau, we in the time of Esau, we in the night of Esau. And Esau, he's being brought down. So the night represents the end of Esau's rulership. So that's why it says Yahweh Shah, he's come back as the thief in the night. Because just like a thief will come unalarmed, Yahweh Shah is coming unalarmed to the wicked. And there's another one, is in Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken. I think Jeremiah 49. It speaks about as it it will leave nothing behind, because I'll let you read it, matter of fact.
Jeremiah 49.
Lamentation 2:21.
You said Jeremiah
49. It speaks about how Esau cut off, and it speaks about the thief.
Lamentation chapter 2, verse 21 says the young and the old lie one in the grove.
That's the Lamentation.
Yeah.
Is it 4? Yeah, 4:21. Yeah. Quite up.
Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21.
Yeah.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom.
Right. It says rejoice and do what? And be glad, O Edom. Because, as a matter of fact, somebody get Joel. Because that came out Saturday too. It says the behind them, a desolate wilderness, before them the paradise. They said this, because this is Esau's paradise. You know, this is Esau's beauty. You know, he has the Most High gave Esau the ability to outshine the other nations. And that's why scripture reference Esau and Isaiah the 14th chapter, and speaks about shining one, Lucifer, morning star, because that star is referencing to it outshines all the other lights. That's why it mentions, it says in Isaiah 14 about he set his thrones above the stars of the Most High. We're represented being stars too, the Israelites, you know. And he's at this time he's brighter than us because he's in power. So that's why Isaiah 14 say that. Go ahead, Malak. Let him bring it out.
Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass true unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thee naked, and shalt make thee naked. The punishment of their iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, he will no more.
So it says you're crying out, it says rise cry in the night. So we in the time, we're crying out. The Most High set it up. He sent out teachers, prophets, you know, other brothers in the spirit. They may not be out there, but you know what they're doing? They're taking the videos and they uploading it to their channel. So we crying out to in the nighttime, when Esau's rulership, and we becoming a nuisance to them. That's why you had fact checkers, and you have on YouTube brothers' channels getting striked because we're a nuisance. We're party crashers. And I got a channel called another channel which Lord William was trying to use that more. They're called GMS Party Crashers. Where we at? You find that scripture in Jeremiah? Speaks about as a thief.
I'm actually looking right now.
All right.
I got Joel.
All right, you get Joel then.
All right. Joel 2 and 3. A fire devours before them, and behind them a flame burner. The land is as
That's going into the nuclear destruction. Okay?
the land is as the Garden of Eden before them.
Right. It says the land is as the Garden of Eden before them, because before the America be destroyed, everything's gonna be considered to be as a paradise. You know, everything's gonna be running as usual. Like you mentioned, Terminator 2, the scene with Sarah Connor. You know, she goes to the park, she leans her hands on the fence, the kids is playing, everybody happy. Another day in Babylon, and then boom, then that fire just comes, and she being tormented with that heat. So that's the fire behind it, because before it destroyed its paradise. Because what is paradise? The word paradise is from the Hebrew word Aidan, which means Aidan means paradise. Aidan means paradise. Because right now this Esau Aidan, that
And behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
right, and it says nothing shall escape them. The dumb is represented towards the nuclear missiles. That you got something?
I think we was looking at that.
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead.
All right. Joel 2:4. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run.
You got it, bro.
All right. The appearance of them is as horses, and that horse it represents power. All right. So that's symbolic to those nuclear missiles. And as horsemen, so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap. Yeah, they're gonna go past all these nuclear defense systems.
49.
Okay, it's nothing going to deflect or intercept those missiles. And the Lord gonna have the spirit on those missiles. Like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains, shall they leap. Like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. As a strong people set in battle array. Yeah, because they're not gonna break their ranks, those missiles. Right? Before their face the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. Yeah, there's no escaping this thermonuclear destruction. So those that are sanctioned to die, they're gonna die here.
Revelation 9:12. One who is fast. Behold, they come 2 more wars
Yeah,
after.
that was World War I, and then it said 2 more hereafter. The Second World War has taken place, and now it seems like we're in the midst of World War III right now. Okay, yeah. So you have all these things going around. Then there's going to soon be a financial collapse because they're talking about giving people more stimulus payouts. And then they're talking about that, which is going to create more debt, and especially if they give out monthly income,
More hyperinflation.
mm-hmm. And they shall say peace and safety. Yeah.
I'm looking for those on the board. The one was fast, and behold, there coming 2 more after.
Yeah, so World War II has taken place already, taken place already. So World War III, that's the next one to end all wars. And in the midst of World War III, they're gonna start fighting amongst themselves. The Lord's gonna put the spirit on them to try to fight him and the angels.
We read Joel 2nd chapter.
I think it's like a couple more verses.
We'll go back to it. Good.
Right.
We left off at.
Hold on, sorry. Almost 7. Joel 2:7. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war. So those missiles are going to get past the defense systems. They're not going to be intercepted or deflected. And they shall march everyone on his ways. So they're going to hit the intended target. And they shall not break their ranks. See, they're not going to break there's not going to be any intercepting missiles to deflect the missiles. They're going to, all 200 million of them are going to hit the designated targets in America, which is not going to actually hit the ground, but the area, the airspace around that area, and wasn't Putin bragging about some missiles he had that basically they could go here and then just travel under the water or whatever, and then come up and just ignite.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
he was telling them like, yo, look, he was telling them about stuff that he had, man. You know, in America, they was trying to play it off like we're ready.
Right.
So keeping people at ease.
Right, real quick to back up your you were saying your point. This is Ezekiel 38. I'm gonna start at verse 10. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time should things come into thy mind, and thou should think an evil thought." And that's going into the mind of the Russians. The Most High is gonna put that spirit into their mind to launch the nuclear missiles. And it says, and along with other nations with nuclear capability. And it says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. Because, in ancient time, wars was set up to keep intruders out. Which going into your point, the America defense system is not going to be able to keep out this missiles from coming into this land and designating and destroying this place. So it says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest. It's not American people, in a sleep state of mind.
Yeah.
They're at rest. They don't know what's going on, and they don't care what's happening. They like to say, you know what? If I ever die, I'm gonna die in my I wanna die in my sleep. But guess what? You are gonna die in your sleep because you're spiritually asleep, and you're gonna die just like that, being spiritually asleep. And it says that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gate, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn their hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land. That's a
Jeremiah 50, verse 9. For lo, I will rise up, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon, against the great nation from the north country.
Read that again.
For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon.
That's right. So the Lord gonna have these nations come against Babylon. This is America, and shoot their missiles on Babylon, which is America. Babel confusion, because they say that they uphold the laws of the Bible, but that they pass homosexual legislation. They empower women. They empower children. They let people worship all these false idols and these religions and these holidays. So it's really that people are so-called free to do wickedness to a certain level. So this is all confusion here in America.
And assemble a great nation from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against us.
Yeah, so Russia, let's talk about Russia, right?
As a nation.
The nations? Okay.
Include Russia.
Yeah, because I said the north.
Russia.
All right, so these other nations, Russia, America's allies, NATO and the EU, they're gonna turn against America. America's gonna do something to piss them off. All right.
There's from thence she shall be taken, your arrow shall be as of a mighty expert man.
That's right. So those missiles are gonna be
That's
like
a guy with that's the expert, because he got precise, he got precise aim. That's a mighty expert. So in other words, the Most High saying is these missiles is not gonna miss its target. Right. As a man that have precise aim, right. Mighty expert shooter. Yeah. And because the Most High, he's gonna be the one that guide these missiles to hit his target. Let him finish.
There the arrow shall be as one of a mighty expert man, and none return in vain.
Yeah, so it's not gonna be there's not gonna be any duds. All right, there's not gonna be any misfires. All those missiles are gonna hit here.
Got something for that. The second Ezra chapter 16, verse 13 says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss."
Yeah, so those missiles,
Message.
those missiles are gonna hit their targets. Those laser guided missiles, and they're gonna have the Lord's Spirit on them. So it's no wiggle room for this devil, for these devils. All right.
It says, "When they begin to be shot into the ends of the world."
Into the world. So different continents over here, Eastern Hemisphere over here, and then Europe over here. So the ends of the world, because you have north, south, east, west. So missiles gonna be coming from different continents. These nations that have missiles, they're gonna shoot them over there, and they're gonna reach here within minutes.
This is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. It says, "They come from a far country, from the end of heaven."
Into heaven, a far country from the end of heaven. All right. So they're gonna be coming out of the they're gonna go out to the atmosphere, come back down through the atmosphere and hit his targets. All right.
It says, "Even Yahweh Shemashah and the weapons of his indignation."
And the Lord is going to return here to destroy this place. The Lord is going to shoot fire from the chariots. That's how he's going to plead with all flesh. That's how the Lord is going to speak with fire.
It says, "And the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land."
To destroy the whole land. That whole land here is America. This whole land going to be turned into a desert.
I think we
Right?
Jeremiah 51, verse 11. Make bright the arrows out of the shield.
Yeah, those arrows are nuclear missiles. Because no one goes to war with arrows now. Only people is the dudes in Papua New Guinea. You know what I mean? That's isolated from the world, but no one's warring with regular arrows anymore. That's talking about nuclear missiles. Those are considered arrows too.
Those weapons are obsolete now. Arrows, darts, because now modern day combat is missiles, and that's what we head into. That's why the prophet, when he spoke about it and he seen it, the aftermath of the vision, they was just like, some got sick, they got scared, they were like, damn. Habakkuk said, well, damn, Lord, were you pissed off at the rivers, the seas? That's they seen it and they're like, wow, they never seen a destruction like that. Isaiah said the earth was gonna whirl to and fro like a drunkard. John the Revelator said, I believe it's in Revelation the 6th chapter, he compared it as stars falling from heaven, because he seen the missiles flying, but at that time, the concept of nuclear missiles or the concept of splitting the atom was never thought of. The weapon was never seen. So he seen it and he described it like these weaponry that's flying, that's gonna bring this lake of fire, as he referenced it. It came from, it looks like falling stars. So that's how the missiles look when they get launched at nighttime. It looked like stars is shooting stars.
Yeah, that's why you heard the scriptures that said Jason and brimstone and all that, because it burns like a bright orange looking color or whatever. It's combustible element. So yeah, they see that. He has to describe it in a words like that, because the terminology didn't exist back then. And the Lord the Most High wanted it that way. So it could be a mystery to some people. He didn't want everybody to get it.
I could one of them say, "What was me?"
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's me. So he's like, he's hoping, which he is elect, but he's hoping that like how we do now, we're hoping we elect, we say, Lord willing, we deliver.
And I'm off. Says
And he didn't know when it was going to really take place. He just know it was going to happen. Eventually happen.
In the future.
Yeah,
so
he
he
knows
knew reincarnation.
Yeah.
So you get me?
And so they seen it. It was like, oh, what? It was like, oh shit. Yeah.
says, "Woe is me." It says, "Make bright the arrows, guide the shield." It says, "The Lord has raised up His spirit of the kings of the Medes."
Yeah, that's right. That's the Russians, all right. So he raised his spirit to get them back in a warlike mentality. So that's why they ready for war. But
It's also proved that the scripture is 100% true.
yeah, it proves it.
Says the Medes for his device is against Babylon.
It's against Babylon, America. Babylon is against Babylon.
To destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord and the vengeance of His temple.
So it's a vengeance of the Lord. So this place
In the vengeance of this temple.
in the vengeance of His temple. That's the nation of Israel starting with their life. So, all right.
Real quick, because the brother said that the arrows, it's not talking about the ancient arrows. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. It says, "For every battle, the warrior is with confused noise."
I was gonna say, now it says now every battle of the warrior was confused noise because warriors they went to war. A battle is a war, right? So he said, and these because he's seen in a vision. And go ahead.
It says, "For every battle, the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood."
That's what he was used to seeing, and that's how wars was fought probably before his time, but he's seen a different war take place. Go ahead.
It says, "With
this, means it make it distinguish from the wars being fought in ancient time and Isaiah present time to the war that's getting ready to come." Right. So he said, but this make it distinguish.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. So this war that's coming is going to be a fiery war, which we understand today's time, a nuclear war. And so it was seen, it was written, and he spoke about it because the Most High gave him the vision, prophesied, because before the Most High brought down a kingdom, a nation, he sent out the prophets. And now the prophets are back out today to let you know the events spoken of in the Bible that's pending to come very soon.
Right.
Because a lot of Jake have in their mind, when the end happens, it's not going to happen within a lifetime. It's going to take place within, generations to come and their grandkids. No, it's going to happen within your lifetime because everybody thought that already. It's somebody, somebody have to drink of that cup. That cup is there and it's going to fall on some generation. And we in that generation now. Like you had a game of musical chairs. Well, somebody going to have to be left standing, and America is getting ready to receive is judgment because how much wickedness can this place do? They pushing hard on I call it the borderline personality disorder, because that's really what it is. Now somebody look up borderline personality because when you start teaching, you start pushing on the people. I identify myself as this, or I believe I'm this. That's a mental illness. Now I'm not going to actually say the actual, word because Esau have his algorithm and it pulls down the channel. But you know, you brothers that's watching at home, you know what we're talking about with the alphabet group.
Mhm.
And look at the borderline personality disorder. That means it's a mental illness, meaning a mental illness means you got demons on you. You got demons plaguing your mind, or you're infested with demons. Go ahead.
This is borderline personality disorder. It says a mental disorder characterized by unstable moods, behavior, and relationships. The cause of borderline personality disorder isn't well understood. Diagnosis is made based on symptoms.
You say anything about maybe type in borderline? What is that? BPD personality type personality disorder, because that's a person with multiple personalities. You know, multiple personalities. Um, uh, 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 yeah, you could. Yeah, that's a demon. You see somebody with what's that movie? Damn, there's a movie. It was a guy. Yeah, he had. I think he was schizophrenic. The guy that played in the was the American History X.
He just was split.
The
Right?
one.
Split?
It was a movie. He was in it.
I think it's called split.
It's gonna come. That's not it. But he was in a movie. You know, what's that movie? American X story. Was it black and white? It's not old.
What
It's not
is your
American History X.
Oh, the dude from the dude from
The one that played the skinhead, the older brother,
yeah,
and he went to jail and stuff like that. Now he was in another movie. I forget the name of it.
Rounders. He was in Rounders, and he was in Rounders. Edwin Norton or something. What's his Norton something? Something Norton or something.
Yeah, but he was in a movie. He played Edward Norton, right?
That's his name, right?
Yeah, but the movie he was in a movie. I'm trying to find it right now. He played. I'm not gonna give the movie away, but he played. He had like a multiple personality.
Oh yeah, I never saw that movie.
Primal Fear.
Yeah, I never saw
Primal
it.
Fear. You didn't watch that? You gotta watch that, man. Yeah, they do have demons on him, man. You gotta check that out. Primal Fear. Yeah, with Edward Norton. So yeah, that's a demon. And a person like that can't really operate in a normal day society, you know, because they unstable. They always trying to reinvent their personality. That's mental illness. That's defined borderline personality.
Unstable.
You found something?
It says,
Go ahead.
it says,
Bring it out. No.
what is a borderline personality person like? It says, with borderline personality disorder, you have an intense fear of abandonment or instability, and you may have difficulty tolerating being alone, yet inappropriate anger, impulsiveness, and frequent mood swings may push others away, even though you want to have long and lasting relationships.
Yeah, but somewhere in there, if you search hard enough, you're gonna see it. It's related with personality disorder, and that's a person like schizophrenic is part of borderline personality disorder. So a person that you know that was born a male, but he identified himself as a female, you know, that falls under that disorder. You know, that's a demon. That you know, that's what the Most High called this place Babylon the Great. Babylon, I mean, great confusion.
James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Mm-hmm.
Got something?
It says, verily, Matthew 23, verse 36. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
Oh yeah.
The Matthew 23, verse 36. Verily I say unto you, all these, how shall I speak in Jesus Christ? I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
Oh, what's the next verse?
Well, these things are coming in this generation, man. Because the generation before is all back again today and reincarnated. So the same spirits that rejected Yahweh Shah is the same spirit that don't reject Yahweh Shah today, or the message, you know, and the same spirit that received the message of Yahweh Shah, you know, accepted Yahweh Shah, you know, they back here again. You know, that's why when you first heard the truth, you know, you believe through faith. It made sense. You know, you didn't really like have the breakdowns of certain. You just made sense first. It started with faith. And you just knew in your spirit it was the truth. Because we had it already. That's why scriptures say, bring all things into remembrance. Because we though you once knew this. Because at one point we did have it. And we came back again, reincarnated. We had to learn it again.
O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killed the prophets and stone him and sent him on thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even the hand that gathers a chick under her wing? Why are ye not?
Like, read that again.
How would ye not?
Read that in the other part above.
Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation.
All these things will come upon this generation, right?
O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killed the prophets and stonest them which sent unto them, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathers the chickens under the wing.
Right. So that's how the Most High is gathering us and protecting us. Because when a hen, you know, gathered its young ones, it protects it with its wings. That's what,
I see the younger, but try to mess with the hand, and the hand picks me.
Like that's what I was going to say. Most High should cover us in His feathers, meaning protections, because we're protected through the chariots. Most High send the angel to guard over the righteous.
God, this is the book of Revelations 18 verses 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils. And behold, every foul spirit and the cage of every unclean bird. So
that's talking about post-destruction.
Yeah.
Because when after this page get destroyed, this page is gonna be what's gonna leave behind desert-like creatures. Only thing is gonna be dwelling here is desert-like creatures. It's gonna be full with unclean spirits, demons roaming around. You know, so that's post-destruction, and no man's gonna go here in America again. Yeah.
God. And it says, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils and of every in the hold of every foul spirit, in the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Verse 3, for all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
They call that in the thought, that's American thought juice.
Okay.
You know, they call it a Bud Light margarita, the thought juice. That's what America gave to the people, thought juice. You know, that because the wine is talking about America, new age of thinking. You know, the democracy, the whole culture, this whole culture that makes up America. That's Babylon. It's all comprised of Babylon juice. Yeah. Babylon thought juice is wine.
In that democracy, you got freedom of so-called freedom of religion and free enterprise, where you could get that American dream or manifest your own success and all that stupid shit that they pushing out.
Be all you can be. Yeah, man. Yeah, kind of, because basically where America is done, they push the diverse ways to other nations. Yeah. And here it is, you got people now that's in India, China. They wanna adopt the nationality of homosexuality, being rebellious. You got people that's in, Israelites, they're women. They want to drive cars. They want to be rebellious to their men.
Yeah. Or they adopted feminine.
They adopt
You know, one of the reasons why this world is all out of whack is because of the idea of feminism. Because these women have in their mind of accepting new roles in the marriages, but at the same time respecting God to hold on to old traditions, you know, to what men supposed to do. Or they'll argue they don't want to be treated differently, right? But at the same time they want to be equal, but then they want you to treat her like a lady. That's an oxymoron.
Right.
You know, like once you treat somebody as a lady, you treat them different. But then they argue they don't want to be treated differently. You want to be treated fairly. But treating a woman like a lady is not treating her fairly. You're treating her more special. You know, so it's like these women don't know what they want. They want what's convenient. They want it's all they argue it based on condition.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, I think I'm equal to a man. All right, look. Well, get on construction job. You know, do exactly what men do. Cause they'll get on construction, but you know they just walking around sweeping. You know, doing nothing.
Right.
You know, like do the exact same thing these men do. You know, like see, this world had created this woman. This world created a woman to think they're independent because they really don't have a need of a man no more because it's given to them. Like all the things that a man will give to her, she already received it. That's why she don't respect men. Like food. If a woman want food, what she have to do is go to the grocery store, put her EBT card. You know what I'm saying? You know, buy her 2 liter, 3 liter soda. You know, all that, you know, microwave dinners out the freezer. You know, buy some chicken, whatever. You know, but before, if you wanted food, the men provided that because you had to go out there. You wanted deer meat, you wanted chicken, whatever. You had a farm, or you went out there and hunt that, and the men provided that, and the woman had to cook it. I was about to say that because you have a farm. Or let's say the woman have a farm. Who's protecting that farm? Yeah. You know, a man took care of that. The men provided safety. Now these women have 911. But who use 911? It's mostly women. Men don't really call 911 unless you know something happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? You have to call like whatever. Somebody broke into your car. They got to file a report or your car insurance or car accident. That's really it. That's the only time you really call. You have to call the authorities. You know, because you have to follow up your car insurance. They don't want to see a police report. Oh, you get into an accident. You gotta you know have a police report. So other than that, you know, if danger is there, you have to deal with that danger yourself. You have to knuckle up, square up. You know, that's it.
Yeah, because it even show even in America today, a woman will call the firefighters or the ambulance because their cat is stuck in the tree. See what I'm saying? You know, my cat is stuck in the tree. Come get it. You know what I mean? They have illogical kind of thinking. Yeah. You know what I mean? So because a man is supposed to be able to guide them with a certain kind of guidance or ways of thinking. You know what I mean? What you're doing or how to do it. You know what I mean? That's why you can talk to a woman, deal with a woman, yo, what you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? You know what I'm saying? The first thing they're going to always report back to is the man. What do you want to do?
Officers, when they arrive to a scene, they got male backup.
Yeah. They got male backup. Yeah.
You know?
Hey, that's the spirit. Because even if you go into that, even down this female COs, when a jail facility is ran by a female, those are the worst kind of jails. You know what I'm saying? That's where all type of rebellion is going on. People's getting beat up constantly because they're getting They getting an inmate to run, you know?
They did making threats towards you.
Right.
You know, like some, you know, in a correctional, well, in a jail, it ain't no easy job.
Nah,
You know, it constantly making threats. Motherfuckers get out of jail, and they remember you as a CO. You bumped them in the street. You know what I'm saying? You're in danger now. Men don't care. Cause my brother, he worked for at correction. At times he told me stories. He ran to people that was in a cell at times, but they never came up crazy to say what's up and all of that. But a female, you never know. The dude may try to try you late at night, Like, all right, I remember you. You don't know what that guy going through.
Like this female, I guess she let people know she was a cop. She was in my building. She was talking to the neighbor on my floor, and she was like, "Yeah, when I'm off duty, I keep my gun on." Yeah, because she probably did a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
So
a regular person, a regular police officer, like that's all of them don't be on no bullshit. That's just doing their job.
Right.
That ain't fucking with nobody that's doing what they gotta do.
Yeah.
You don't see them worried or whatever. You ain't you know they're police, they don't do this, going about their business. But the ones that's actually doing fucked up shit,
Yeah.
they know like yo, they clock. They might check out anytime, you know. So
Yeah, that's why it's said. All nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Basically going into worshiping of the God of philosophy. You know what I'm saying? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy. Right? Because in our actuality, all nations have used the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, which are the biggest, Israelites, to receive riches from. You know what I'm saying? Going back to even when you have Moab, Ammon, they constantly rob the so-called black woman of her head. You know what I'm saying? The black woman is constantly running to her, so like running to those nations to receive, but to get some hair. You know what I'm saying? They all in the ghettos with Chinese food. You know what I mean? With the same grease that they got left over.
all that grease, right?
That grease be left there for months. You know what I'm
They
saying?
fucking, that's on some ghetto shit where somebody constantly say who they grease they cook with, they filter the shit out like it's a fish tank and reuse it.
you think the fried chicken comes out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They filter it like a fish tank.
Yeah.
But them goops, man, they keep on into that grease. Be like, what's up?
That's right.
Yeah.
Back at night.
Yeah.
Now, if we have a Rite Aid or a Walgreens, any kind of pharmacy that's in so-called ghetto, who's running that? So-called East Indian, Elam. Now, Elam is exploiting Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans with some hand-me-down so-called medicine.
That's what the Bilderberg group, I want to keep yapping. That Bilderberg group, one of their first meetings, the first meeting in 1954, they was like, yo, look, regular people could upset the cradle of power. So we got to make it where it's a scarcity of goods. We can't have everybody moving a certain level. Information, how to get money, how to get around taxes and all that. We got to keep that amongst ourselves. We got to put our bullshit education and all of that, and then keep mother and father occupied. That's when they was together. Or break that unit up. Have the male fucking pussy whip. All of this shit was up in the document of Solid Weapons Crime was Operations Research Manual.
Okay.
All that was in the document, but I'm gonna leave it with that.
For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
All the nations are drunken of the wine, not them philosophies. They done got caught in this debt system. That people are polluted with America's, with the so-called white man's philosophies on free will and all of this shit, and freedom to worship what you want to worship, and it has a people's mind polluted.
That's right. Yeah. Because America's, I'm not gonna say the only, but it's one of the major countries you can bring any god in.
Yeah.
You worship Buddha, you worship Allah,
and people come over here and do whatever they want.
Yeah. Literally. You know? Yeah. Right.
Like it's like Esau disrupts the order of things. Like I saw this Latin family, I don't know if it's a car, whatever. I was on the floor, I was chilling, 17th Street. And so you could see the male is in control of the family because you had the cousins, the daughters, with nieces or whatever. They was all walking behind the males. They all went to have fun and dance or whatever on a drug cafe little thing.
Right.
But they all left together and in order, like they was behind the men of the family. And you see the head, he was the main head of the family. They all followed his lead. I was like, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right,
but Esau fucks up everything, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We have the woman, the children talking back to the parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The woman talking back to her man.
Yeah.
You what I'm saying?
And they wasn't in a relationship. That was like uncles and the pops or whatever. It wasn't like they was in a relationship, but it's still order. Like yo, they was behind the heads of the family.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it says, and it reads, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her.
Yep, the kings of the earth, all these heads of these nations, they in bed. So-called white man with America.
Yeah.
And now what? They country is in debt. They have enemies, and their people are polluted, and they're mad. And you know, America, they all doing trade. They gotta go under Esau's banner, under America's banner mainly, well, how they operate. Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7, it says, Babylon had been a golden cup in Yahweh Shemashah's hand.
Yeah, it's been a golden cup. It's got rich through his traffic, through his wisdom. It's been a golden cup, and no one has invaded this place. So it's been a so-called beacon of light to the world. You know?
It says that made all the earth drunken.
All the earth has been drunken with the so-called white man with mainly in America that make the nations drunk, because all these nations want to come here to run wild, like they want to run loose. Like you might have, for example, but you might have like your family members where they are total like they're real strict. They can't move around, so they'll want to go to another family member's house to where they got more freedom.
Right.
So all these other people come over here to basically do their bullshit. So if there's in their country, they might get their head chopped off. All right. Yeah.
It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
The nations are mad. Their monetary system is fucked up, hyperinflation over there. They got central bank system, and so they angry. They like, yo, we gotta get from out of this bud and do our own thing. You know?
Okay, Con, I'm gonna finish it off, and it says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
Yeah, they recruits. They came over here. They did business. They sold their goods over here. They produced their goods, and America consumed them. Or either they done helped America by building their shit with cheap labor and they got rich. You know, the outsourcing and all of that.
Yeah, back in the days where all the Nike said made in China. All the Jordans made in China, made in China.
How they make the iPhones over there, right?
Oh, yeah, the iPhones.
And they heavy, and they inflate. They mark up. The markup is crazy.
Yeah, and also if I can add it to it now, you go to the expensive clothes like Gucci, Louis. Oh, that's material that comes from the Middle East.
And the tariffs that America puts on goods too.
Okay,
America puts them taxes.
Right.
So you try to like, all right, you buying foreign, but now we're gonna have you tax that shit. All this game. These nations got rich with America.
That's right. That's right. God, and it says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacy.
The abundance of her delicacy, all right? So these nations that got in bed with America and they got rich. These oil barons or whatever you want to call it, they became sheikhs and sheiks and all that.
Yeah.
They done came.
Right, yeah. It's no coincidence. You go to every gas station. Every gas station is ran by an Elamite or Ishmaelite. You know what I'm saying? That's what's running. You don't see Jake at the gas station.
Now, America and also done did shady shit with them where they owe them a lot of money.
Yeah. Jake Murray Bay, huh?
Yeah.
I keep going, and they read verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins."
Yeah, that's right. So the elect is going to be beamed up.
Okay.
And all right, right when that destruction is taking place, the elect gonna be being up the elect.
And that you receive not of her plagues.
Not when you receive not of a place, the ultimate plague is thermonuclear destruction.
Yeah.
This place is gonna be turned into a lake of fire.
Yeah. They cannot add because that's the spirit, because they show you the balance of the Lord, because he went and going into the other nations, they have waxed rich, you know what I'm saying? They have fed into the fornication. I mean, but then it goes to the next scripture and says, well, my people, come out of her.
Yeah.
You're showing you that the other nations are going to be destroyed right with the so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? Because they have lived deliciously.
And all those people that scoffed and all our enemies and all that they're gonna see, Lord willing, we the elect.
Just
Get
let
lit up.
come out.
Yeah, they're just gonna witness that.
Yeah. The elect
Witness.
That's right. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, which is going to the elect, that ye be not partakers of her sin.
What's in America? It's harlots.
Yeah. Right? And that ye receive not of her plagues.
Of our plays, those plays, that's not that nuclear destruction.
Yeah.
You know, the people gonna be turning up power, pillars of salt.
Yeah.
I said power.
All right.
So you know, like when someone get cremated, they like a little pile of dirt. You know what I mean? But it takes a while for them to be cooked, but they're gonna be instantly cooked into that.
They're gonna be cremated alive.
Yeah, alive.
You know what I'm saying? Instant. And the Most High is gonna make it feel longer. You know, they're gonna feel longer with what it is. Right? You know, because you gotta keep in mind when them missiles designate, that's why as Jeremiah 50th chapter about destroying wind. So it's slowly, the temperature slowly just start rising. They're supposed to be for miles away, but then you start, let's say it's 40 degrees outside, then it start feeling like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 degrees until your ass start burning up. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an uncomfortable fire. You're gonna be tormented.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna be cooked alive.
And the Lord's Spirit is on the missiles too.
Mm-hmm.
So
You go right.
you know it's different. You got
God, all right, I'm gonna finish it up. For sins have reached unto the heaven, and Most High remember her
since I reach into the heavens, all the wickedness done piled up.
Yeah.
That judgment, all the sins done piled up to where the Lord is. That's it.
Yeah, because the Lord didn't forget what they have done unto the Lord's people.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying has caused them to go up. They didn't tell us that we are the Israelites that supposed to keep the laws of the Lord. They added us unto the sins on top of sin. Yeah, go ahead and sell drugs. And, you know, like how Malcolm X always said, you know, poverty's going to all of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, where we getting all this stuff from? You know what I'm saying?
That's traffic.
Yeah, because hey man, I ain't gonna lie, me myself, I be studying that a lot. I'm seeing the deception of the devil. How it is. You had the
What? Poppy seeds?
No. Just just how Esau Edom transformation. You had Jake that was poor. You had Jake coming out of the Industrial Revolution. Is coming out of working in systems, you know, like working with machinery.
Jake is not immune. Jake is not a dude. Esau done made money off the drugs, traffic, slave trade, drug trade, regular commerce through trafficking regular goods.
Yeah.
Look at Joe. What it was Kenny. Joe Kennedy. He made all that money with bootlegging and prohibition.
Yeah.
He had immunity to it. Yeah. Look at Bush. Daddy Bush that died.
Yeah.
He had immunity of bringing all that coke in.
Yeah.
But he was bringing so much in.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Frozen coke and shrimp boats, frozen in, bringing it in. There's a lot of shit.
Yeah. Even like that was so-called what they call smack or crack, as you want to call it. It was made in the college laboratory.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, Sean. Yeah. Due to, you know, as far as things that reach unto the heaven, the Most High remembered her iniquity and sin on top of sin.
Well, iniquity actually means imbalance.
Okay.
You know, iniquity means not balance. Okay. Because, you know, we have a scale. Righteousness means the scales is balanced. So when the scale is unbalanced, that's unequal.
Inequality.
You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, it's supposed to be a balance, a scale. So that's iniquity, means imbalance or injustice, which is sin. So you go close it out.
All right. We're gonna close Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. We're gonna get full honor and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Dash.
Lord willing, next week. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Baba, Baba.
I see you